Nisa Ghul here. I was raised in the forest by my dad. After my mother died, my father taught me everything about hunting, cooking, finding things to make medicines, and basically how to defend myself. While hunting one day, we were attacked by the bear. It killed my father in front of me, leaving me completely alone. I ran away as fast as I could, coming across a cave where I tripped and fell, hitting my head. When I awoke, I was surrounded by a pack of wolves. Thinking they were going to kill me, I tried to get up and leave, only to have the leader come up to me and drop some meat by my hand and nudge it forward with her nose. That's when I realized they were just trying to help, while another two curled up around me to keep me warm. I then went on to live with these beautiful creatures for many years, until it was time for me to part ways. As a parting gift, the leader of the pack pushed forward the small cub who had become infatuated with me, as if to say, "He is your companion now. He will take care of you when he is old enough." Jeeves has been by my side ever since. I finally ventured into a village nearby where I used to live, only to meet Sout, who then became my best friend, with whom I did take under my wing, taught him things that he needed to know. Sadly, he went down the wrong path, in which I had to end his life.
Who am I? Who are you? Why do I need to introduce someone as formidable as myself? My reputation precedes me, after all. You should already know who you're talking to. No? Fine. You may refer to me as Artificer Ethelfin Ypres Yasfer Davidmore, protege of blade masters and armorers from the four corners of the Telkasir, and notable craftsman in his own right. Do not touch the construct. She is a delicate mechanism of such exquisite work that your ogling dirties her grandeur. She has instructions to dismember too, so mind your fingers. And yes, I am patronaged by House Talinder, thank you very much. Not that you asked. I travelled the highest echelons of elven society, so you will use my full name and title in the formal setting. Outside of which you may of course call me Artificer Daywinmore. Propriety must be maintained after all. What do you mean, what am I doing out here? I'm perfecting my craft. Whatever misunderstanding you've heard is scurrilous lies. There is always room to innovate and perfect after all, and one can't do so within the strictures of one society. Ideas can get stale, don't you know? Indeed, one day, Avatas, that's the construct, will be a shining, glorious centerpiece of the Telkasir's artistic and technological achievement. And it won't be thanks to just elven technology. No, there are many other disciplines that you blink lives may have some small knowledge of and that I can perfect. We elves are long-lived after all, but through this construct, I will achieve true immortality. No, I am not begging for coin. I have a highly placed sponsor within House Talinder. Why would I need coin? I was calibrating her load-bearing joints and placed my overcoat beside me because it is a sunny day. I can be hardly blamed if people throw coin at me. They are making assumptions. What do you mean, move along? Ordinance against begging? Are you serious? Take your hands off me. Do you know who I... Avatas, that was highly inappropriate. Thank you, dear. Get the overcoat. Leave the guard.
My name is Vanimelda. I am part of the Tarsali Asir. Ever since I was a young girl, I was under constant pressure as the next matriarch of my tribe. Learning about the world, having all manners of education, being groomed and molded to be the priestess. Also being sent to all different high houses to learn and network. I excelled at sword training, but that might have been partly due to the connection I had developed with Neveril, my dark elf swordmaster. Respect turned to admiration and admiration turned to love. For a while, everything was perfect. We were in love. He started teaching me about his culture and his goddess Elistrai. Then the day came when I found out I was to be a mother. I was excited, blessed, and thrilled. When my twin babies were born and I held them in my arms for the first time, I have never felt so much love. I went to sleep and I felt untouchable. And I woke up to reality. Everything was gone. My children, Neveril, my swordmaster, my mother had dealt with them. Since then, I have vowed to work harder than ever before to truly become the most notable matriarch of my tribe and change this barbaric way of thinking. Mothers losing their children over such matters will never happen again. I carry Neferel's sword with me always, so I will never forget the injustice that happened to me, the motivator to always get better.
Tig! I am Tig. Tig Wild Elf. Big and strong, like tree. One day, met big walking tree. Easy to talk with big tree. Shook arms, and big walking tree gave me his arm. Arm gift. We friends now. Arm best friend. Walking tree sound grumpy, but gave arm? Must be tired. Tig take arm on walks and make big and strong like Tig. One day, family go off for trade. Tig go for walk with arm. Come back to find house traded for dirt and ash. Where did house go? Family in dirt where house was. Family all sleeping? Tig try to wake them, but they stay sleeping. Covered in dirt and black bubble bits. Why? Tig smell cooking. Tig hungry. Tig go for very long walk with arm to find food. Tig and arm walk very far. Not know how long. Man asked Tig to keep safe small elf and friend. End up on boat with Nisa and Music Man. But they not strong. Tig and arm must teach and take for walk. All go to place with tiny tribe. Very small. Do job for tiny tribe. Tig use shiny round metal for school. Arm and Tig met nice tiny person. She make candy. Candy help Tig talk good. Tiny tribe are nice people. Found new home. Tig and Arm found new family. Then Music Man hurt tiny tribe. Arm and Tig go fix. No one hurt tiny tribe. No one hurt Tig family. Tig arm torn off, but Tree Arm helped Tig. Tree Arm now part of Tig forever. Music Man smush now. Tig keep Nisa safe. We go find Apple Sprite now. Shiny rock. Did good?
We've been sitting here getting ready since about 6:20, by the way, guys. It's now 7:05 for me, so it's been 45 minutes of things just not working. But, to the normal intros. Tonight with us, we have Ghul playing Tig.
Hello.
We have Potato Queen playing Nisa.
Hello.
We have Che 3D playing Vanny.
Hello.
you you deserved everything you got for tormenting the poor kitty. We have Smokoi playing Liam.
My lifeblood.
Alright, and we have Castellan playing Aethelfin.
Hey everybody, really looking forward to this game. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, so it's been a couple weeks since our last episode because we had to have a bit of a break between our previous session and this one. Don't fuck with familiars. That's a good thing to know, Chad.
I deserve that completely.
Yeah.
On it.
So, can I get a recap from Nisa in full of what you remember happening last session? And then when we get to the point where you weren't there or don't remember, I'll ask someone else.
We walked down a hallway and there was bits of string places and I accidentally pushed a button and things happened. We got to a room where there was like a weird mechanical thing with like spheres and I don't know how to explain it because I don't understand it myself. Where you like move them and then like you put what she's holding up, that's what it looks like.
Yes. Wow. When did you draw that? On the day?
Yeah, when you were describing it to us.
Sarah, can you just like take a photo of that and send
I
it?
am so
I
I'm so
need that
annoyed
in-
because you didn't show anyone that, and I get why you didn't, because her character has an intelligence of like minus six.
-3.
So like
Of a glass of water.
she
I so needed
she's
that though,
not
like...
smart enough to figure out the puzzle. But Sarah has just sat there, drawn it up, and been like, "Oh, this makes perfect sense to me," when everyone else is quite confused.
Thanks, Sarah. That
Thank you
means
so
so much. But yes, that wonderful device that we drew is what was in the room. At one point, we moved some of them around, and a door showed up with earthly rewards. With myself, Aethelfin, and Liam decided to walk through, leaving Tig and Vanny behind to continue messing with this weird fucking contraption. In which they did, and they opened up a door to another place up in the sky with like gods and stuff. And I wasn't there for that. All I know is I grabbed a bunch of gold and a statue and then left.
Okay, so you missed out a part before that, so I'll jump to. Let's go. Shire. The
So
part
we
before the contraption, and then the part after that Nisa didn't know about.
Okay, so we first went to the room and we found like the priest all like hung up like and his insides are all outside. And then we fought like a priest sorcerer guy who made a wall, and then we put him in a hamster ball. That was last session, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so we put him in a
Alright,
hamster ball. The last session was really long, so like I get. And then we shaked him around, and then he exploded and died. And there was like an octopus dude who was like the friend from like before. And then we got to the contraption place. We did the contraption thing. They left, and we then went to like the gods. Tig and Vanny went to the gods, and we met 3 goddesses, and we had to give one of them an apple, which said like the fairest of them all. And from there, we gave it to the one that was like representing wisdom and protection, and we ignored the one who was extremely beautiful and the motherly one. And
Can I amend that?
No,
what
you
what
can't.
what happened?
No, I cannot amend that. Okay, never mind.
Wait, no, wait. You want to wait? You mean something that he said, or like go back and fix
Yeah,
something?
something that he said. Something that he said.
Yeah. Okay.
Vanny didn't do the giving. Vanny gave her the option to give.
Yes. Vanny was like, "Here, Tig, you give," and then Tig gave it to because Vanny would have given it to the one of love, but she knew that was a selfish choice and gave it to Tig for Tig to give it for the like more universally better choice. And then we got blessed, and then we got like things on our arm, like a little tiny thing which is almost invisible, and then we were teleported back and we started eating, and Tig decided to and Tig was able to talk.
Yep. A few more days. You got the ability to speak, not like a child. And by child, I mean like 3 or 4 year old.
She can
Okay.
use words. She's still stupid.
Yep. Okay. I believe that gets us to the point everyone got back to the chambers designated for them by the council of this city, and Liam got in and was like, "Okay, I have to go now," and left. And then Aethelfin was like, "Yes, and I will leave too," and the guards are just like, "No." So, that leaves us. It's probably getting close to sunrise. It's you guys have been awake for a long ass time, and you've got Liam Nava wandering the halls of the Colossus. Back to you, Liam.
I need to go back to my guild and offload all of this garbage, and then I need to go to my guildmaster's chambers.
Okay. Do you want to go to the same place where you like bought all the stuff before, where you got like your climbing kits and your thunderstones and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So you go back there, and it's not the same guy there. It's just another one, like the night shift, who's usually there, you know, giving things out for people that are doing experiments and whatnot very late at night. And he's barely paying attention. He's just sort of like reading by candlelight. Yeah. What?
Yeah, and Liam's just going to like take off his satchel and start taking off all the plates of armor and the vestments and all the kind of stuff that he put on that he found while he was in that treasure room. He'll take the swords and whatever weapons he had off of his belt and from around his shoulders and lay those on the table as well, and then just take all the trinkets he found out of his satchel and put those down and lays them out really neatly in a line and says, how much for all of these?
So he's sitting there and he was originally like, he wasn't even looking. He's like, yeah, what? And then you hear like thud, clang, clang, and then like, you know, you've taken off a robe of armor. Then it's like sword, 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 knife, knife, axe, sword. And this guy's sort of just slowly just watching more and more in shock as this little tiny guy is just putting down all these weapons, and mostly of like really nice make and old, not a style used for probably a few hundred years in the area. Yeah. I'll be just a sec. And he sort of reaches down and gets a book out and starts like flicking through it. Can I ask where you got these from?
No, you can't. I'll be keeping this one though, sorry, I forgot about this. And he's gonna reach down for one sword in particular and take it from the table and put it on his belt sheath.
So I just didn't know if they're stolen. Is anyone coming looking for this?
Oh, no, of course not. I would never do such a thing to the guild.
Okay, alright, Liam, right?
Yes, it should be listed as Liam Nava.
This guy is, because he usually works night shifts, he's heard of you, but he doesn't know much about you except that you're like a assistant of the guild master. So he writes down your name, catalogs all the stuff, puts it aside, and he gets out 6 platinum pieces. And then the rest is in gold pieces, equaling up to... just a sec. It is 998 gold pieces all up. He sits there and he says, if you want, I can take back. I could trade a few hundred of those for a ruby or diamond of equal value. Easier to carry, you know.
I'll be fine with the gold. I don't imagine I'll be keeping it very long.
Alright. Tell you what, if you happen to come by this sort of stuff again, and you come in at night and see me, I might be able to give you a bit of a better price. I sort of like collecting some of these old pieces, and I buy them not for the guild but for myself.
You'll speak to the guild master about that. My findings report directly to the guild. The gold,
Okay.
if you will.
Yep, and it's all laid out on the table in neat stacks, showing how much he's given you.
And he's going to open up his pouch, count out another 2 gold pieces into the pouch, pull the rest of it in there, and then stick the rest in his pocket. So
Okay.
he has a bag with 1,000 gold in it.
Yep, cool. Alright. The guy just sort of sits there scratching his head like what to do with 4 swords and a suit of armor. But
I leave.
Alright. So you walk out. The servants are starting up, the bellows and getting everything sorted so that in about an hour, the guild can start working on things. You know that your guildmaster wouldn't usually rise another hour and a half to 2 hours, but you can head straight for him if you wish.
Yes.
All right. So you get to his door, and there's a guard standing there, and he just looks a bit perplexed. Liam?
Yes, I need to see the guildmaster. I know he's not awake. I'll wake him up and take responsibility.
All right. He just knocks on the door, and there's no response for a moment. So the guard sort of like seems to wince as he opens the door. Sir, and the guildmaster sort of what? I'm coming. And walks
so the
out.
guard's holding the door
gown.
open, yeah?
Yeah.
Liam's not gonna wait. He's gonna sneak under the arm and go inside.
Okay. So this middle-aged man with a sort of like, he might have been fit once, but he's what's the term? Gone to seed. He's a bit rounder now. Sort of. Liam, what are you doing here?
I'm here to deliver my report, sir. And Liam's gonna turn around and close the door with the guards holding open.
Right, you couldn't wait, little.
Considering the contents, I'm afraid not, sir.
Alright. Follow me. And he heads through to his study. Pulls out a chair and sort of just motions for you to sit. And starts fiddling with something in a drawer.
Liam's gonna take a seat, put the bag of 1,000 gold on the table, and then he's gonna take off all of his spellcasting materials, his component pouch, all of his trinkets, and just lay them on the table.
The sound of the coin hitting the desk sort of makes the guildmaster raise an eyebrow. Keeps going with what he's doing. He seems shake something. He takes a sip of some dark liquid. What is this about? What's going on?
Well, sir, I'm not sure if you knew this, but my previous guild masters would have received a report from me anytime I'd done something of significance to the guild, something that would require either investigation or a formal report to be filed due to the nature.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know I haven't been as active maybe in using you since you came here. The windows seem messed up.
Then, with permission from yourself, sir, could I give my full report now?
Yes, and just out of game, hold up just one sec. We've had just someone mention there's been a slight issue, which makes sense because everything locked up at the start. There we go. All right. Yes. Continue. Go ahead, Liam.
And Liam's going to spend however long it takes presenting in as much detail as he can physically manage the results of every single event that occurred from the moment he met the party to the moment he re-entered the Colossus. He's going to tell him all about the Fulgurite. He's going to tell him all about the secret locations, all about who transported him down into the bells. He's going to talk about what they fought, what the combat was like, what the party used in combat, everything he saw them do, everything he saw the enemies do, everything about the elves in the basement, the wizard that was destroyed, literally sparing no detail.
Who's paranoid now?
The guildmaster sort of goes through a few emotions there, where he's like, all right, like the talk of like criminals to get him down there, because I imagine you did this in order, right? So you went around with these people. He's like, yeah, nothing wrong there. Criminals doesn't seem to faze him, right? Like, not a problem. But when you sort of talk about finding a secret location, he goes a bit white. When you talk about what's down there, you can see that he's gripping a like a quill in his hand or a pen in his hand, really tight, and his knuckles going white. Hearing about the incompetence in some parts of some members of the party.
I should mention, as he talks about the party and what they did, he's also going to place the ring of guards' keys on the table and talk about the incompetence of the guard in the Colossus.
Oh, okay. Okay. As you're talking about the the party sort of like being at each other's throats, and sometimes just ignoring the duties and different bits and pieces, and maybe not always help each other out. He sort of seems to relax a bit. When he gets to the puzzle and the bit down there, he sort of like leans forward, very interested, and he's like, Liam, could you maybe draw us a map on how to get down there, along with instructions on how to pass through that place?
I believe, sir, that's far less of a concern than the matter of the Fulgurite.
Oh, no, I agree. Just how well do you know your history, Liam?
Relatively speaking, I've not been here very long. I'm no older than some elves I've met.
Well, this city was built on the ruins of the previous one. Almost quite literally. Nothing was looted. We just built over it. And there's been a lot of discussion about burial chambers and forgotten knowledge and treasuries. And sounds like you stumbled upon that sort of area. The Fulgurite, well, that sounds... Like, he sort of seems stuck for a moment. The temple of Zeus on the south of Lake Demon. It's regularly struck by lightning. We think that is mostly the prayers of the priests there. Do you think the stone set in the altar there could be the Fulgurite they're speaking of?
It's likely, and at the very least worth investigation. I would also like to offer up a trade. In exchange for showing you where this puzzle room is that you seek, I wish to continue my duties as, what would you call it, a guide? Offering myself to the party and at hand. My original master would have wanted to see this matter of the Fulgurite through.
Liam, what did they say specifically the Fulgurite was going to be used for?
If I recall, to save the world.
Are you sure they're not just fear-mongering to get us to help them?
Would it matter if they were or were not? They'd get there either way, and having me with them would at least allow me to see exactly what they intend to use it for.
This could be... Either way, it's an artifact of some power. We could do much good with it here in the Colossus. It could be used as a source to make another of what we stand in. making us the most powerful city-state. No one could touch us. We wouldn't be drawn into their petty wars, wouldn't have to provide for them any longer. And if our guild was the one to get it, we would also be the rulers here.
Understood, sir. And Liam's gonna stand up and start collecting his things with a smile, leaving the bag of coin on the table. I'll be using the library if you don't mind. There's a few tomes I want to seek out. I will reassign my current mission directive to acquire the Fulgurite and return it to the guild.
Before you leave, return here. I may have, if I can talk to some other people within the area, possibly aid you in some way.
And Liam's just gonna give a very polite bow and then take his leave.
Okay. He sort of stands up as you leave, like politely, and then you sort of just hear him slump into his chair and like exhale as you leave. Are you just heading back to your quarters?
Yeah, that's my turn done.
Okay. Alright, so about like you guys are sitting there chatting and eating back in your chambers, and sunlight starts shining through the windows there. What would you like to do? You've been awake for about 20 hours at least at this point. At least.
So we've been awake for a long time, and me and Vanny kind of just went straight away, started eating food. I think if the sunlight's coming through, I honestly would like to have a nap in the sunlight. If there's any leaves or anything growing out of the arm that kind of grew, I'd like to go and have a nap.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can go have a nap in the sunlight. How long for are you trying to like sleep for? A couple hours? 8 hours?
I'd say probably maybe 2 hours tops, because I get that everyone's got stuff to do. So I reckon I'll try for 2 hours, and yeah, if we can get more later, I'll try and do that within the story.
Did you mention this to anyone that you'd like to wake up in 2 hours, or you just went to sleep hoping?
I probably would mention it to Vanny, actually. Like, eating. Vanny. I'm gonna go have a nap. Sunlight.
Okay.
It looks really pretty. It looks really warm. And I think and I would like to have a nap. Wake me up when the sun is there. And a point to where I think about 2 hours sunlight would be. Probably about a meter to the left of where it currently is.
Okay, take a nap. I'll be there to wake you up.
Okay. Vanny, Nisa, Ethelfin, what would you like to do?
If people are doing things, I think Ethelfin would attempt to slip out to go get his construct.
It's not really going to be a slipping out, because Nisa's going to go back to that room and try and pick up the stuff that's currently on the floor.
Is there this comical thing where we're both trying to slip out and then we bump into each other as we step through the door?
I'm not trying to slip out. I'm just trying to flat out fucking walk, being like, I'll be back in a minute, guys. And then as I've gone to walk out, I'm just gonna bump into Abelfin and just be like,
Yeah, he's probably come from the other direction, around a corner, and I'll take the long way around. Oh god.
fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, it's quiet.
So yeah, because it's a circular chamber, right, with your rooms off at different points. So you're probably you've left and tried to see inconspicuous, and just both sort of now standing in front of the door, and there's just two guards just on the other side, and it's a big marble chamber, so they can just hear you echoing as you take steps. So as you guys get close to the door, you just hear the shuffling of armor be like more in front of the door than by its side. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna open the door and just be like, "Can we leave yet?"
He sort of like looks. He's like, "Is sun up?" They sort of talk to each other quickly in a language you don't quite catch. I suppose so. However, you are meant to be seeing the councilman at 2 hours after sunrise, so make sure you're back here.
Indeed, my good man. And you would note that his instructions were to arrive with my construct in tow, and I have to go get my construct. So you're actually working counter to the councilman's plans, unless of course you're willing to escort us forthwith and assist us in the retrieval. It would be nice to be chaperoned after all.
Okay. Take me exactly where you went, and I will be with you every single step of the way. If
I'm gonna,
you
like,
do
look at-
anything underhanded, if you do anything against the law, I will really very much enjoy locking you away. Arrogant prick. Let's go.
I'm gonna like tap him on the shoulder. Yeah, I'm gonna need some help carrying some stuff back. I heard my bag rip and I don't have enough hands to carry it all.
I walk to Nisa and I'm like, no, I can help you with that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You know, it's funny the amount of respect I get around here seems inversely proportionate to the actual importance of my mission.
He sort of blinks at you for a second, as if you don't quite understand what he's saying. He shakes his head.
No.
How much stuff is there? Do we need to get a cart?
Maybe? I don't know. See, the bag has like a magical thing in it and it was like kind of endless and the bag kind of broke. So
The hand cart will be fine, thank you.
Okay. He motions to his partner, who runs off and comes back. About 20 minutes later, with a handcart. You can either sit there, go inside again, have a chat, to wait quietly.
just gonna wait.
Yeah, we'll just go.
I know. I wanna ask Nisa. There was this book that you found down in the bottom of the Colossus. Could I read it, please?
Yeah, you can read it when we get back. It's inside at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So the guard comes back with the cart and just sort of puts it in front of Aethelfin. Alright, lead on.
He looks at Nissa like, you wanted the cart.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna grab the cart and I'm gonna start carrying it. Well, not carrying it, but like dragging it along with me.
Sure. And I guess we'll make our way back.
Okay, so you're heading up to the tavern in the head of the Colossus, yes?
Yes.
I believe that's the case.
Okay, so it doesn't take you too long to get there. Since there's not a lot of people moving around at this hour. You walk in the tavern. It's pretty much empty. There's a man behind the counter, not the one that you met before, and there's a couple drunks just passed out in the corner. One of both. Oh, sir, what can I do for you?
Hello, I'm here to collect my things.
And what things are they?
We have a room upstairs that we rented for the night, and we left some stuff in there that we need to pick up.
Oh, okay. You got your key?
I'm gonna pull out. Do we have the key? No, we don't.
Oh,
This is the dad, right?
nope.
No, it's a strange person.
Look, let's cut to the chase. Where's my construct?
Construct. I don't believe. Yeah, what are they mean?
There was another man. He owns the tavern, a little bit of an older man, and his son. They helped us with the door and keeping our stuff here.
Right.
His name is Jonathan. Jonathan's dad.
Oh, Johnny boy. All right. He came back a little while ago, not too happy. Took some paying customers on a bit of a trip. And they apparently just left him down there. So would that be you?
Yeah.
We were trapped in down there for a while, and he said he would leave. He would leave after 4 hours, and because it took us longer than that, we just assumed that he would have gone.
Yeah, well, he was also asked to do some other work for you. So, but it's all right.
What?
It's all right. He's taking his payment. If that's you, I can take you upstairs. Jonathan's and his dad's now in bed. You can come back a later time to talk to them, and he takes you upstairs towards the room. And sort of just pushes a small amulet against the door, and you see it just sort of very gently, like a pale reddy pink color. And then he puts the key in the door, unlocks it, and on the floor is your assorted shit, along with your construct, pretty much just collapsed onto the floor, with one arm missing, along with about 2/3 of its outer armor casing.
That's what he meant by payment,
says,
right? I'm just gonna shovel everything up into the
Abatas.
handcart.
Well, yeah, I noticed just completely ignoring the construct, just our stuff. Let's just go.
I want to look at Aethelfin. Maybe come back later and talk to Jonathan and his dad.
Yes.
Was it you, sir, that wanted to get a new arm? He sort of just looks at your missing arm.
Yes, but how do you know that? Says Aethelfin, looking at this guy sidelong.
Well, I was
That
sort of-
conversation was extremely secret.
Mm-hmm. To who?
Council business.
Yeah.
So explain to me how an innkeeper would know about such a...
Oh, I'm not innkeeper.
He just stops mid-sentence and looks at the person. Does he recognize him?
No.
Then dare I ask what you are, my good sir?
I help solicitate a few things here and there, and I heard that you might need an arm, so I talked to a few parties that have been in contact with you, and they, using me as the intermediary, we sort of came to an agreement, and you have an arm waiting for you in about 2 hours. We just needed to get the right materials.
I see. He'll walk over to Avitas and attempt to activate her.
Yeah, she activates, but not with the usual grace, with all the outer casing missing. You can see all the internals. You know, a couple of like the pieces that like probably shouldn't have been removed have been removed, so she's a bit ungainly.
The adjustments that were made by Aris, are they still in play?
You can see where someone's tried to take a knife to like the socket and it's not quite come through. But roll a perception check.
Plus 4, so that's
Yep.
17.
So you can see that there's some fine rune work around it now because they couldn't get it free and they weren't sure what it did.
At a glance, can I intuit what the runes mean?
You've seen similar ones before. You even drew one such rune.
Right. I'm sure there's probably a sorted detritus on the ground.
Mhm.
I'm going to start scratching away the seals.
The man's like, hold.
No, it's fine. It's just integral to her workings. I don't want any unsolicited modifications to her.
Well, you can do that in your own time. If you're not going to move now, I'll have the guards kick you out. You even brought some with you.
I did.
Do you continue or do you leave?
No, he's just working away at it.
Alright. The rest of you, do you want to stay for this or you want to go?
No, we're gonna go and take our stuff back
We're
to the
going
room.
to go, yeah.
Thank you.
He sort of like
Ethelfin.
tips his hat to you sort of thing.
So I'm assuming the runes around these modifications can't be that extensive. Like the way in which it was described to me was that it would require a lot of work, and if it's on the frame, not so much the casing, there wouldn't be a heap of them.
Yeah, there's probably a half dozen around the stones.
Right.
Okay, so the guard follows you guys down. So, yeah. So the innkeeper follows you down. That yeah, thanks for stopping by. The councilman will see you in about an hour. Don't annoy him. And then walks back inside.
I will try my best.
As he walks past, he sort of motions to one of the guards, who salutes the man and follows. Says, sir, we have to ask you to leave. You're about 2/3 the way through, at least, not maybe completely removing, but like, through your knowledge of magics, destroying or nullifying runes.
Yes, well, I suppose I can continue this work elsewhere.
Alright. And he starts walking you down the stairs. And Avitas follows. She's a little bit unshaky, especially on the stairs, but she follows.
Yep.
Alright. So you guys make your way back to your chambers. And once you are there, you are put inside and the guards will gonna say, look, we're allowed to let you pass back and forward now, but if you're not at the council chambers at the allotted time, we've been ordered to find you and drag you there in chains.
Okay, we'll make sure that we're there. Quick question: is there anywhere that would be interested in buying some of this stuff? And I like point down to the
What have you
thing.
got? Because it's just a cart of shit at the moment.
It's like a whole bunch of stuff. It's like swords and some other shit that I might have forgotten about.
Okay.
It's just like great swords, I think. Would be interested in selling.
The young man that you've been working with, he'd be the one to talk to.
Alright, cool. Thank you. I'm just gonna walk inside.
Question also: do you have anything to buy, like a shield or something along the lines of that? Because I realized earlier that it would be very prudent to have it.
I'm not really a merchant, sir. Again, you had a guide who was taking you around and showing you things. I'd advise using that guide to guide you to places you need to go.
I take a look, like he says sir, and I just kind of take a look at myself. And I'm like, okay.
I wouldn't worry too much, Vanny. They're employed in such positions for very, very good reasons.
But yeah, then I just go wake up Tig.
He sort of, and he looks at himself, like, oh, sorry, you're generally women don't fight much here. I understand you're from a different place, and he sort of looks a bit contrite and just looks sheepishly down at his feet a bit and steps back.
It's fine, no problem. And I just walk off to like wake up Tig.
Okay.
I think for the duration of this next small bit before we go see the councilman, Ethelvin's just scratching those runes off and buffing the frame while muttering under his breath.
Liam, after you left the yes, you. After you left the Guildmaster's chambers, did you just go to sleep?
He went straight to the library and started pouring through tomes, anything that talks about anything related to Fulgurite, anything that would bear resemblance to constant lightning striking a building, the significance of the lightning, the religion that follows, the religion tied to that temple, just educating himself as much as possible.
Okay, you do find quite a bit of information. Fulgurite being where lightning has struck a mineral deposit, how it can be used to enhance, like just in its base form, it can be used to enhance weather magics. Your Colossus isn't really good at that sort of things, but there has been other schools of magic around the place that have used ground Fulgurite to increase the power of spells by 2-3 fold, which has very, very useful battlefield effects. They also have used it for when the area was more navigating the world and not stuck behind a ring of newly formed mountains. They use Fulgurite to help their travel spells. You find the two places referred to as, the lightning temples. One being near the city of Lake Demon, a very heavily populated, built-up, warlike city, as it's referred to. It came under new rulership about 10 years ago. And the other city is on the neighboring island. You don't have a whole lot of text there regarding that that one, but know that it's
And which
the major trade rival, along with military power.
and which one of these places has inside it or is closest to the Temple of Zeus that my guild leader mentioned?
It'd be the one at Lick Demon, which is probably 2 weeks travel once you hit the mainland. If you was to go straight back to Corinth, otherwise you have to travel by boat half that distance, and make it about 10 days.
After he's done all of his research, he's just going to quickly peruse through any tomes regarding magic or spell casting or anything like that to see if anything new has been added or if anything's been returned. And if there's nothing interesting, he'll just like take a seat in a quiet place in the library and fall asleep for a bit.
Okay. Nothing new's really being returned. There's nothing really new there to add that you haven't really read before. We haven't like at least glanced at and decided wasn't before. Yeah, you go to sleep for a bit. And about an hour and a half later, you get woken up by a librarian. Young sir, someone's looking.
Oh, can't you just let me sleep a little longer?
No, you have been requested to attend the council chambers with the others, and there are a series of guards outside waiting for you. Are you in trouble, sir?
A whole series, I must be. Thank you for letting me know. And Liam's just gonna get up and dust himself off and go out to meet the guards.
Okay. There's about 10 there, with sword and shield, and about 4 have spears. You can feel on them, that they both have ways of nullifying and casting magics, not of themselves. They're all to do with like items.
Oh, come on, isn't this a bit much?
He just sort of like one just sort of like looks at you and smiles, follow, and then starts marching, and heading straight towards where the others are.
Liam just shrugs and then sticks his hands in his pockets and follows along.
And then the others. How are the backpackers going?
Backpack. Yeah, I think he probably would have been assessing the damage to Avitas.
The the shoulder where the arm was removed was taken off relatively expertly. Like it was not quite as good as what you guys like you would have done, but someone who knew their way around tools this arm. But the armor plating, not so much. It's been prized away in places. Someone did this angrily.
Noted.
So you're sitting there cleaning and inspecting, and you start hearing footsteps gather outside the chambers.
Well, heads up, this is either a welcoming party to take us to see the councilman, or it's an execution squad.
I'm
Over the way.
gonna walk up to the door and like open it to see what all the faffling is about.
You see the two that have been guarding your door and you met before are standing there, and they're having a discussion with what looks like a squad. About another 10 are there, in a loose semicircle around the door. They're pretty much at ease right now.
Hello? Can I help anybody?
Yeah, we are gonna take you to the council chambers.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Yo, guys, let's go."
We
Escort then.
weren't sure if you'd be able to get there by yourself, so we were asked to bring you along.
Well, thank you.
We've also asked that you bring all of your belongings with.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk back in, grab my bag and another bag, and then just put them on the handcart, and then just like carry the handcart, just walk out of the room.
Also, any pets?
Jeeves.
Jeeves sort of like adds out and sort of like head
I'm just
down,
gonna-
looks at you.
I'm gonna like move some stuff over the cart, and I'm just gonna point to the cart and go, "Lay down."
God. You ever seen a dog try to do something delicate? It's not gonna work very well.
No, I said I'll move the stuff out of the way,
Yeah, and he's
and
gonna
then point to the empty space.
and he's gonna jump on the cart, and he's gonna topple the cart because he's a fucking dog. Like I said, you seen a dog do something delicate?
Isn't
Find
he a
it.
direwolf or something?
So yeah, he's huge. He pretty much tries to jump off, tumbles off the other side, and sort of like sits there and just sort of starts nudging the bags back towards the cart, and then just like sits waiting for you.
I'm just gonna put everything back on the cart and just go, "I tried. Let's go."
What about the rest of you? What are you guys doing? Just
I think after waking up Tig, Vani would really be, because she knows she's gonna like, she knows she's gonna like be meeting the council, so she's gonna like, okay, so I'm gonna comb my hair, I'm gonna comb Tig's hair, we're gonna look decent, and Tig's gonna be there like half asleep. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
Tig's-
okay.
Why
Combing-
are you doing this? I
combing
look
Tig's hair
fine.
doesn't work. It's
No.
knotted and like matted. It's some of it's like at the point where it's just, that sort of like unkept dreadlocks sort of like clumped together. There's animals living in it. It's not great.
Well, she's gonna give it like scouts honors try.
So you sit there and decide that it's not worth destroying your only bone brush. So you give it a crack. Don't get too far. And the guards sort of just make sure you get all your stuff together.
Alright. I'm gonna go
Okay,
and
so-
collect some food.
I'm gonna double check to make sure I have everything.
Okay.
I have my sword, I have my sand, I'm good.
I'm gonna put a bunch of food in the bucket.
Okay.
Like meats and stuff, and dry them out.
Okay. And you start being escorted down towards the council chambers. And as you're walking there, another unit of guards moves up, making 20 in total, and these ones are escorting Liam.
Oh, hey, Liam.
Hi,
Welcome
hi.
back.
Where did you go?
I had to go do some reading.
I can't read.
Okay. So you
You know that scene in Shrek where Donkey's like, "I'm not a talking donkey at all." The moment that this other retainer of like guards approach, Aethelfin's like, "Oh, this isn't going to end badly at all." To the closest person, probably Nisa at this point, since we're both sort of lagging behind with, well, doggy baggage cart and crippled automaton.
So they escort you to the council chambers. One unit opens the door, goes through, and like seals all other entrances. And then they sort of have a few move in, and they move the central dais aside, and drop down a hatch that has a staircase, and motion for you to head down.
I guess I'm heading down.
All right, let's go. We'll go
follow
on
Nisa.
another adventure, Benny.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Woohoo!
Accent is gone.
I think at this point, Aethelin just sort of again sidles up to Nisa and goes, "This is awfully secluded. I'd be on guard if I were you."
I'm always on guard.
Liam's gonna turn
moment-
back to the guards. Sorry, Liam's gonna turn back to the guards and just say, you know, I'm actually a little claustrophobic. I don't really want to, you know.
They just stare at you, then look at the hole. Go on in. Get.
Worth a try. And he climbs in.
Vanny, who I believe was taking point on this because Liam stepped back to talk, and the other two so they were hanging back. So, as your foot hits the floor at the bottom, you hear a faint click and a bit of a shift under your foot, and all the all around the room torches light up.
Oh no. He's covering up arm. Like, no.
There is a weapons rack that's empty to your left. There is what amounts to a trough on the right hand side. There is a series of chairs along a long table, and then there's a couple on the other side. You can see that there is a door on the far side as well. You're left for at least a few minutes by yourself. Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
I'm actually going to go and sit down on one of the chairs and sort of put my feet up and just try and relax for a bit because I got rudely awoken from my nap.
Roughly, how large is this room?
It's about 25 feet across, and it's a big circle.
Yeah, right.
I look at Nissa's like pile. I'm like, if this turns ugly, do you have in that mess a shield or a dagger or?
It's not a shield, but I have a couple of swords.
I have a sword. Okay, then we're good.
Liam draws one of his two daggers and holds it by the blade and offers it to Vanny quietly.
Thank you. And she takes the dagger.
I'd like to do an investigate check on the room to see if I can discover any kind of magical rune trap or anything in this room that basically would not belong in a space like this, either mechanical or arcane.
So you want to do like effectively, if you want to
Just setting up a
discover
trap.
magical traps, you're effectively going to have to use a detect magic spell, which I think we said you could cast as like a ritual, right? It's 15 minutes, you sit there and you can find magic in an area. Because detecting magical traps or detecting traps is sort of different.
Well, the reason I would be looking for it is because this place seems to be using magic in the form of runes. So I'd probably be looking for small hidden runes or indications that possibly there's something like the wall might be hollow or something. You know, any kind of indication that there's some.
Roll an
kind of
investigation check.
That is a 19.
Okay, so you walk around tapping on walls, investigating things. You don't really see any rune work. You find that the torches were filled with some sort of like flammable liquid, and it allows you to you can see, like, you can sort of like imagine the contraption, like, oh yes, they've stepped on the floor here and it sent something along to light this up so that it burns on entry, so you don't have to, like, you know, fumble about. It's like just efficiency or an aesthetic thing as well.
Yeah, right.
The whole place seems to feel slightly like it sways gently.
Right. I think he's going to walk over with Avitas to the center of the room, and then just quietly go, so I don't want to alarm anybody, but I suspect this room is suspended, possibly over some kind of abyss, chasm. Do you detect that? And then he sort of like slowly sways in motion with it, try kind of like just heighten the movement slightly, so that the others can feel it.
You guys sort of roll perception checks with advantage. No, that's right.
Both were 14.
Of course they are.
20. Oh, wait, no, oops, 21.
Yep, okay. So you guys all sort of realize that this place is not exactly, it's not swaying like as in a lot. It is literally the tiniest motion. You wouldn't have realized it unless it was pointed out. And every now and again, because this entire place being a huge Colossus, every now and again you hear the grinding of things moving in the walls. And you realize that the grinding you're hearing at the moment is the sound of this chamber touching something else outside, like another wall outside itself.
Now, we never really determined how Avitas's flight works.
Yeah.
My understanding, actually answer me this question. It's simpler than just trying to get over the semantics of it. In her current state, is she capable of flight?
She can fly. It might not be graceful, and you might not want to make her do anything that could have her fall apart more than she already has.
That's fine. Just wanted to know. Yeah, I'm just going to stand in the center of the room with the construct and sort of just eye off the rest of the group and kind of go. Now we're at the thin edge of the wedge.
I'm
sure
move
we'll be fine.
over to the wall, like sort of shift my chair over a little bit, keep things relaxing. And I'm gonna stab my hand into the wall with the arm and just like hold it there, just in case I feel like the floor's gonna open up at all. Just that's my anchor point.
Okay.
Lazily
destroys the infrastructure of the Colossus. So after
$8.
After about 15 minutes, 20 minutes down there, this man walks down through the end door, and he's carrying something wrapped in cloth. And he walks straight up to you, Aethfin. Sit.
Of course. He'll grab a chair and sit next to Avitas.
All right, he puts the cloth in it. All right, arms up. Arm up.
Yes.
And he sort of like opens your robe, pulls it off. He's like, cool, all right. And he sits there and he measures something across your chest, gets a leather strap, and puts it around your torso. And then opens up the cloth bundle. And it's Avitas's arm to roughly where the shoulder would be. And then they've used a mix of bronze and steel to make the point that would join to your shoulder.
Right.
It's it's effective work they've done, but it kind of completely fucks the aesthetic of this sleek elven design, and then just like a bulky box that attaches to your shoulder.
Yeah, that's fine. Once it's attached, he's going to
Attached yet?
Well, that's why I said once it's attached.
Well, maybe
He's
wait.
gonna.
Uh,
All right.
so he sort of sits there and opens the box part of it, and you can see there's a few needle points which will be pushed into your stump. He's like, "Look, are you sure you want this? It's gonna hurt for a while."
Well, I mean, I was promised one made from your very illustrious foundries here, but apparently we're using my design, which is fair enough. Please have at.
Were promised. However, sometimes things have to change slightly. The connection is made from our illustrious foundries. The arm, we thought you wouldn't want anything better than elven design, would you?
Well, there's certainly something to be said for attempting to accommodate one's sensibilities.
Just to double check, you want this? It's if you do
Yes.
anything, be careful for the next week. Doing anything strenuous to the arm, you could cause it to fall out, or infection. It could be bad.
No, can't be much less worse than only having one arm.
All right. He sits there and he gives you like a stick wrapped in cloth, and he's like, "All right, bite down on this."
He does so.
He counts down from 3, and as he gets to 1, shoves
Oh,
it.
just do it.
Wait! As he gets to 2, I want to put guidance on the man who's about to stab Aethelfin with some metal.
Is there a reason you're stopping him?
So it pricks Ethan's arm, goes in about a quarter inch, and then stops, and he looks at you. So, what was that? What does guidance exactly do?
Gives him bonus 1d4 on any check he's making. That's non-combat related. So, for this instance, it would either be medicine or sleight of hand or whatever he's using.
Oh.
Are you serious?
So, well, it's bumped his medical check up by, it said 1d4, right? So, with his like 23 medical check, it still hurts like a motherfucker, because it push it a quarter inch in, pulls out, and you're like, oh, pain, and then, and just, you can feel it, it just goes straight in, and there's a large central one which just slams into like the bone and anchors it in place, and then the box which was opened up to these needles then unfolds and sort of like wraps around your stump, and he sort of puts it in place, and you can see there's small holes in it, and he starts screwing it in. He gets a screw and sort of turns it into your skin.
Internal screaming
There's probably external screaming too.
intensifies.
But yeah, almost immediately as you're doing it, you feel you can feel that you can make a fist again. Not only do you have an arm, you have very vague sensation. Like if you tap your fingers together, you feel the tapping. It's very dull, but you get a sense of it happening.
Yeah. I think the first thing he's going to do once he's able to like articulate the fingers is he's going to basically bring the arm across and then like brush his shoulder.
Yeah.
And see if it's actually got like the dexterity to be able to do something as simple as that.
It does, but this motion pulls at all the screws and it hurts like a motherfucker.
To be expected.
Alright. The man's like, alright, so you need to put all your weapons in the weapons rack. All your belongings to the right side of the room by the trough. And you'll have a man with you shortly. The councilman is sorry that he couldn't personally be here for this. He's sending a representative.
I see.
Liam
Anyways.
glances at Liam glances at the guy and says, "So should I just stand in the weapon rack, or?"
That's a good point.
No, if you're property, you should probably get in the trough.
I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure how you work.
It's fine. I'll take care of it. And he starts like taking off his cloak and pulling off his shirt and like covering some markings and tattoos and some other things on his body with cloth and robe, just basically making sure that they're not exposed at all, and takes all of his runic items and his chainlets and everything and just stuffs those into his bag and throws that in the trough.
Okay. He goes, alright, well, thank you, and leaves. A few minutes later, this large man enters. He's about 6'4". Looks like he weighs about 150 kilos.
What's that in pounds?
150 kilos in pounds, 2.25 pounds the kilo. So you're looking at roughly 350.
Oh, damn. I have no idea what that weighs like, but now our American friends do, so there you
go. Anyways, he sits opposite you. And this guy's arms are covered in scars, a couple small nicks to his face. For those of you that have fought with a sword before, you know that this only comes from hundreds and hundreds of fights. Alright.
I just looked at them like,
Okay.
All right, mate.
Hello.
Well, I had to stop because I haven't. Did you find what you were looking for down there?
Aethelfin at this point is going to turn to Liam Nava and go, yes, and this young man is holding the item of interest. Or rather, what remains of it.
Yeah, and Liam's gonna pull out the texts and documents that he's read over in the downtime. Committed it as much to memory as possible, and then just offers it out.
He opens it.
But he's not gonna offer out the notes that was written in the same like text as his former master.
Okay. I need a report on everything. This is not what we were expecting.
Could you elaborate?
You were sent down there to find someone who had stolen information regarding sale and building of constructs, and you were going to identify what house they were from, guild, and make an example of them.
He exploded.
I
He
can
kind of just
testify.
sat there and just went. So, yeah.
Based on mild analysis, self-immolation.
That word, yeah. He knows the big words.
Just out of character a moment. I did read those documents and then handed them off to Liam. Now, just correct me if I'm incorrect in the information, but as far as I recall, they were effectively letterheaded to Liam's guild.
Which ones are we talking about?
The ones that I picked up after the guy exploded, because he grabbed a whole pile of those documents and ran.
Yeah. Some of them were, yeah. Not all, but some.
Right. Well, unfortunately, dead men can't tell any tales, and we did attempt to take him alive, but unfortunately the man was a canny arcanist. Nearest we could tell, however, is he perhaps said some connection to. And he turns to Liam and goes, "This young man's guild."
Yes, well,
He abducted a young man, I believe. Tell me, Liam, what happened to our erstwhile squid boy?
I did take him to the guild, and I'm going to see to him later today.
so you went down into the disposal areas. You found what exactly? Give me a
Oh, one of
report.
Well, perhaps I should let our
No,
advanced scouts.
I would like you to talk, actually. You who made this
Oh.
deal.
Well, we surreptitiously made our way down through roguish methods to the disposal area.
Yes,
in
you
Chamber, and
used a
counted,
local criminal who we have had dealings with before. We know of him.
Sure.
Do not
we,
skip out on details.
Well, I was under the impression that that was a
Continue.
given. We espied a young man attempting to use similar magics in one of the experimentation chambers to that of, well, the perpetrator of the disaster at. Oh snap! I've forgotten the city's name.
Corinth.
Corinth. I kept thinking Kandahar for some reason.
They are very different places.
I know, but it's the brain. It's the brain connection just made that. Yes, at Corinth, and well, we moved past him. We snuck into another chamber where there was an elderly man attempting to collect paperwork of some kind. Liam can probably attest to what happened next in that particular regard, as he dealt with the situation.
I didn't deal with the situation. The local criminal friend pushed him down a hole, and the old man died.
But you did
Yes.
something to him prior to that. Don't skip on detail, after all.
I put him to sleep so that he wouldn't have to die.
And then, yes,
Well,
this.
that follows what we've heard so far. Would you like to explain, Master Aethelfin, why you requested the murder of someone else working down there?
Because he was dabbling with magics that could easily destroy this Colossus, this fine piece of
By
architecture.
our request.
Well, if I had known that there were other agents operating down there at your behest, perhaps I would have thought twice.
But the thing is, I don't
I
think
was
you've
not
ever
given-
thought once, so perhaps in the future you will not just take it upon yourself to meddle in others' affairs.
I've been quite candid with you, and I understand that that's possibly something that's making you and your employer rather unhappy, which is fine. But I don't think it's the kind of magic, and you may ask Master Arus about this, that you can control. It controls you. So, we can quibble about the death of one man, or we can talk about the fact that you have prevented a cataclysmic disaster of monstrous proportions from occurring in here, possibly within a week. My conscience is clear.
Yes.
And I do apologize for the loss of life, but some things may not be dabbled in. So, there we are.
Okay, Liam
May I
Nava,
continue?
in a moment. You are a magic user of some gift.
I wouldn't say that much, but I do use magic, yes.
Do you believe our employee had to die in this scenario? Was he messing with something he could not control or understand? Given he was using a foci for the magics and not channeling them completely himself.
If you wish for my completely professional analysis, I didn't spend enough time in the area, nor do I know enough about the magics in question to say for sure. But given my experience with utilizing foci to cast magical effects, I'm not going to say spells, they tend to be far safer than raw casting.
It cut a hole 12 stories deep into a city. I don't think it even with a foci it's particularly safe.
It'll be a lot less safe when we have the less experienced person who comes next try it. Anyways, continue.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you meant Liam. We descended the hole, one after the other. I couldn't quite tell you the order. I knew that I was last because obviously I had a little conversation, a little tete-a-tete. And then the young man threw the body, the sleeping man down the hill, and he died upon impact. Then we were beset upon by slimes, which we dealt with and stepped into a corridor.
Didn't you throw a bag over Liam's face for some reason? We were already in the dark.
Yes.
I never understood why you did that, Artisan. I just
Because-
thought I'd mention that. Sorry. I can't
Yes,
wait.
thank you, Tig.
Would you like
If you
to
want to know, I didn't
explain?
trust Liam. I didn't trust Liam neither. He's affiliated with the guilds. The guilds that we are going to investigate by process of elimination through this errand you sent. Do you want me to work as a non-affiliated entity with an affiliated entity and not mistrust him? At the very least, I had to see that his intentions were, if not good, then at least honest.
Proceed.
Thank you. We continued through the disposal chambers, encountered a mutated spider that beset good friend Nisa here. There was some other things that happened, but unfortunately I was not privy to what transpired, so I would leave it in the hands of those who ventured forward, which again I believe is Liam, as he was leading the way, chasing after a voice that was calling out for him.
Voice, Liam Nava. Please tell us more.
Yes, a familiar voice called out for my help, and as per my primary mission directive, I had to follow the voice and discern the nature of the call. It turned out to be a member of my guild that was being experimented on. I have returned him to the guild and will seek medical attention for him more thoroughly tomorrow.
And on the way between that final interaction, we encountered a deformed spydron of some sort. It looked like someone who had been mutated. We encountered a gelatinous cube, which I believe Tig, in fact, utilized to dispatch the, if not the living remains, then the near-living remains of this creature. We descended into a spiraled room where we did battle with a hideous slug creature that was dispatched with a liberal application of acid, and then we broke through a magically sealed door using a nullification room and found the horrors within.
I need to know how much damage you did to the laboratory.
Personally, nothing.
How much damage you as a group did to the laboratory. Do not try my patience.
Because of the man setting himself on fire, the laboratory itself set itself on fire.
Yes, I will attest to this. I was in the laboratory for the longest due to my natural resilience to fire, and I can firmly say that his self-immolation resulted in a full burn down of the laboratory itself. I'm unsure if anything survived.
Okay. And then where to next?
Well, you see, after that, we weren't 100% certain that we thought this was your man, and that we'd recovered information, what little remained. So we decided to be thorough in our investigation and checked the only other possible course of travel, and encountered a room of some sorts, a large mechanism that is connected to the different planes of magic, and discerned its purpose insofar as we could. And, well, 3 of us passed through for these so-called, and he puts up an inverted commas, goes,
What was
material
found?
wealth.
Down there. Was there a man? Was there any information?
Oh, yes, there was a man who was, well, immolated, standing before a fire rune, or rather a ruby that created fire. This room, by applying the different, I guess, symbolic crystals or minerals, would open a portal to the respective plane and flood the room.
Yes. What did the man have on him? Was there any symbols? Because we asked you to find someone trying to escape, we did not ask you to destroy a laboratory.
Well, in that regard, I believe our good friend Tig here found some personal effects that had been stashed to the side, out of harm's way. As to the man, as far as I am aware, unless anyone else here investigated the corpse properly, I was too preoccupied with the mechanism, we were unable to determine any particular affiliation. But there was a journal, I believe, and he cast a glance over at the group.
I can't read. There was red string and one of those book paper thingies that you people read.
Do we still
Who
have
has the journal?
It was
Out
my
of
knowledge
character, was the journal inside the bag that was on top of the mechanism?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, I gave it to you.
I'm gonna point. It's over there. Can I go get it?
Did continuing this, did you give it to Liam or someone else, or you just left
No,
it in
I'm
there?
pretty sure. I
I'm
kept
pretty
it
sure
in the
she
bag.
kept it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk over, grab it, and here you go. Is this what you're looking for?
Yes, thank you. Well, this will aid us. What is your next step? As a group, where are you going? You have done loosely what it was asked. Not entirely finishing the job, but enough.
I'm kind of hoping to go visit one of the temples. I think it's near Lake Damon.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go visit the temple over there, and these guys will be coming with me.
What do you need for your journey?
Food.
How do you wish to
I-
travel?
A boat, please.
To where?
To Lake Damon.
We can take you. We can send you back to Corinth, or we can have you go 2-3 days along the coast, and then you'll be about a 7-day ride from Lake Damon.
That one sounds good.
Yes, please. We're escaping Corinth.
Escaping.
I mean, we discussed it with the councilman. This is something that you should
We
discuss
had
with him.
Heard that there was some difficulty. To pay for all this. And he sort of stands up and moves over to the items that you've put aside. And he takes out your bag of tricks, Liam, your satchel and everything, and places it on the floor. Starts going through the cart, that you've got there, and goes to the bag that you have all your wealth in, Nissa. Pours about half of it into the trough, picks up the gold lion, throws it back in the bag, and then puts that on the floor. Picks up your bag or your items, Aethelfin, and sort of separates it to one side. And then goes and sits down. We will take what is in the trough to pay for anything you may need to travel. If we find out that you have expenses exceeding that, we will come and ask for more. You know, you have it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Tig.
We got given a bag of rocks and stuff, and it exploded like the man did on the floor. So I think we need to pay for that, but I don't know how to do that.
We will
Alright.
find out. Yes.
I've taken care of that already. I spoke to my guild master where we got those from.
Ah, thank you, Liam. Liam's nuts.
Okay. Vanny, Tig, Nissa, and Liam, you are free to go. Aethelfin, we could continue to use an expendable agent. You can stay here. You will be given access to a private forge, which will work on things for us, and in the meantime repair your construct, showing us how to make more.
This sounds like a wonderful offer.
It is not an
budget.
offer.
Well, one slight request. The young man who removes the mithril. I'd love to have a word with him.
We could arrange a meeting between you and another one of our employees.
Yes. Someone with a forge.
What do you need him for?
Well, and he moves his arm and goes, I'd love to experiment with some of these augmetics. It could be quite useful for future designs, and I'd love to have an assistant.
He has other uses.
Yes, but I'm afraid this poultry request is non-negotiable.
He stands up, forward over the desk. We are not negotiating here. You are staying to assist us because you are ours now, till we see fit to release you. The man that you attempted to, in his words, rip off, took payment elsewhere. He has since sold on the mithril through us to someone else and has collected the money. And we need him where he is doing his job, as you will do yours.
We'll see.
Alright. You will have a boat here. 4 days. You have that time to get everything in order. And we'll take a break there, I think. So you guys are leaving to go get stuff. And Ethan is left to discuss the finer details of his new place of employment. Hey guys, and we are back. We just realized that we're probably going to keep this next little bit short and sweet before we sign off, because I am terrible at time management.
Yes,
so
he is.
Everyone can agree. So as the party leaves Aethelfin to his fate, they move up the stairs, and the guards sort of sit there and have made a road that leads you directly to the outer set of doors. You guys can just leave straight away if you want to, where you need to. It's a road to get you the fuck out. So once you've left the guard's earshot, what would you like to do and say?
Vanny and Nisa and Liam. I don't know how much longer I've got to talk like this, but something I want to do is go find someone who's good at painting, or whatever it is that you have on you, Vanny, which is similar to what I've got, same as Nissa. But these, we just have always had them. I don't know how you get yours because they're different. They don't stay
I
there.
put them. Yeah, I put them on every 2 weeks or so.
Okay. I want to find someone who can do it and make it stay there. There's something I want to do. Okay. Is there somewhere like that in this gigantic shiny person, Liam?
I'm not actually sure, but I could ask around. Also, you're very wonderfully eloquent today. Take, what did you have for breakfast?
Fruit
I should
and
take more fruit.
steak, meat, fruit. I haven't had really good fruit in a while.
And she had a nice bump on the head to help her talk.
Yeah. I got hit on the head. Yeah. Like harder than usual.
Okay, well,
I
I
still
could
can't
ask
read.
around and you poor thing. I'll teach you someday. But I could ask around and see if there's a place like that. I'm sure I could find somewhere.
Yes, please.
Do you leave to do that, Liam, or are you going to stick around and chat to these guys for a bit?
He's gonna stick around and turn to Nissa and say, what exactly was in that journal you handed off again?
I don't really remember. It was just like written down in a out of character. I can't actually understand what it was written down, can I?
It was, out of character, I know what it was,
Nope.
but in character, I don't.
Nope. Leave it there.
You told us.
Yeah, I know, but there's no point in repeating it if no one actually knows
Oh.
it's sitting here.
Okay, cool.
It's a shame. I would have liked to go through it like I did with the rest.
Sorry, no, I don't really remember, unfortunately.
Either way, I have some research to do, and I need to speak to my guildmaster. While I'm doing that, I'll ask around about a permanent tattoo place. I assume, due to how jumpy everyone around here is, you're being forced to stay in the same place. And for that, I apologize, but I'll meet you there some point later today, if that's alright.
And
That's
Liam,
all right.
just do you know anywhere I could get something like a parrying dagger or a shield or?
Oh, you mean like I should make one for you?
Can you make one for me, or do you know where I can buy one?
He just sort of like does the whole, and then he turns and leaves.
You backwards finger guns. Alright. Cool. So Liam goes off. We'll get back to your guys and your shopping list in a minute, but I want to see what Liam is off to do.
gotta go head to the guild, make sure my boy is okay.
Okay. So you get to the guild and you find, where did you, I'm trying to remember now, where did you leave the boy?
I wanted to leave him in the care of the guards that like protect the guildmaster. Basically, just dump him there and say, "Hey, keep him safe. Don't let anyone touch him."
Okay, there. When you get there, you see that there are the 2 guards outside. Not the same ones that are outside the other guy's place, but just 2 guards. Along with the guild master and one of the higher level adepts of your guild. And they are sitting there and sort of, as you get closer, they're discussing the usefulness of his adaptations, as they call it.
Guildmaster, is everything okay?
Yeah, no, it's... This young boy has left us somewhat of a problem.
Please elaborate, sir.
The other man steps forward, like, if I may, he's not completely in control of his new appendages, and that is interesting, to me at least, because he could accidentally cause a lot of damage. However, I believe if we could figure out how the experiment took place and complete it, it would properly sync up to his nervous system.
Is there a way to reverse what's been done to him?
I do not believe so. We had talked about removing his lower half and attempting to attach some sort of mechanical assistance.
I'm gonna go speak to him.
He's a bit... We had to sedate him. He was saying that someone in the guild did this to him and that they were working for someone...
Oh, for God's sake. I know exactly who it was. Just let me speak to him.
Oh, okay. So they open the door and the adept's like, is Liam always this rude? What's going on? And as you shut the door, the guild master's sort of like voice trails. I can really catch what he said. But yeah, you're in there into a darkened room with a boy on a like couch in the corner.
Hey, kiddo, you survived. How you doing? That's me.
Can I fix this?
Well, see, that's what I wanted to come and talk to you about, okay?
Why'd they do this to me?
Because they're horrible, evil people. And I made sure, well, I'm in the process of making sure that they get what's coming. But what's more important than that now is what we decide to do about this. Any emotions towards, like, the massive tentacles on it.
Well, what can we do?
Well, right now I've been presented 2 options. The first option is that they continue to experiment until we discover how to give you full control of whatever this is. And the alternative option is an operation that completely removes them and replaces them with mechanical parts.
Oh.
Yeah, I had the same reaction. The third option, which is slightly more appealing but far more risky and takes a lot more time, is I could figure out how to cure it for you. I'm not sure where I would go, but it'd at least give me something more interesting to do.
Well, I don't really want to be experimented on anymore unless they know they can fix it. The operation sounds like they're trying to kill me.
Oh
Did-
no, they'd keep you alive.
I did read that there was a spell that was used a long time ago to calcify people, and I was wondering if we could it's sort of maybe just do that to these things so they stop doing what they're doing.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not too well versed in such a thing, nor do I think I could learn it. It's far too outside the scope of what I'm capable of. So, the choice really comes down to this. You can let them experiment further and allow you to use whatever this is. You can let them perform an operation to give you mechanical, essentially, legs. Or you can wait, and I'll make sure that you're as comfortable as possible while you do, while I figure out an alternative option.
You saved me. Trust you.
Yes, it doesn't matter how much you trust me. What matters is what you want.
You can help me. I'll wait. I'll wait.
Alright,
Okay.
you gotta make me a promise though.
What's that?
No panicking.
Do my best.
No panicking.
Okay, but Liam, there's when this happened, I saw something, and just need to be careful, okay?
Tell me all about it.
The I think this happened because I saw someone leaving the library at night with tomes that aren't meant to be taken. And I think they were trying to get rid of me.
Was it that man that was giving you a hard time?
No. But he was they definitely had talked before. I seen the man before talking to Brian.
That's all I need to hear. Leave the rest to me, okay?
Liam.
You rest up.
Oh,
And remember, and Liam just points at him and waits for a response.
no panicking.
No panicking. And
Okay.
Liam's just gonna turn and leave.
Okay. Liam, before you go, could you try to bring me some tools later so that I'm not just sitting here alone in the dark?
Liam's going to stop, turn around, and reach into his satchel and pull out his own personal artisan's tools and just leave them with the kid.
Thank you so much. And he sort of like starts tearing up.
Don't break those. Those are mine.
I'll be careful, I promise.
And he's gonna head out.
Alright. As you get out the man's like, so did you get anything useful at all? Anything?
Yes. My guildmaster, or yourself, or whomever this applies to, is going to ensure that he is made as comfortable as possible and is taken care of until I return to the Colossus.
And who are you to give me orders?
Guildmaster, if you would.
The guildmaster sort of looks at you both and just do as he says. I don't. Come with me. And he sort of puts an arm around the other guy and takes him away. And he shoots a look back at you, sort of frustrated. And you can see this guy is not used to like doing anything himself.
Yeah, as the guildmaster looks back, I'll have already used thaumaturgy and minor illusion. Liam's got that same sort of infernal legacy look he had down in the pits, and he's giving that straight towards the adept and shaking his head.
Okay. So as like the light generated flickers off the walls, you can see like the guildmaster's eyes go wide with shock, and like his pace increases. He sort of stumbles over his robes a bit. He's like, "Come on, let's go, get the fuck away from here." He's not happy. Yeah, okay. So I don't know what you're doing now, but if you're not heading back to the
see
others...
the party.
Okay, cool. So what do you guys like? Discuss what you think you'll need for your journey.
Food.
Yeah, of course.
I made a bit of a list. Climbing kit, I think we'll definitely need. We need food with flavouring stuff. Because I don't know words. We need torches for people who don't have trees for arms. Stuff to keep us from getting wet from the rain. Backpacks, obviously.
Yeah, pouches.
Little pouches and carrying stuff, satchels for Nisa to carry stuff and everybody else.
Okay.
I want to get some arrows and some clothes and water and lockpicking stuff.
Okay,
Also,
cool.
I would like to get a blank papery book thing and a pen and some of that ink stuff to write with, and I'd like to have that put aside in a little bag.
Is you asking for a book sort of like, you know, a someone wearing like, you know, this it's weird. Paper's made from trees and you're like tree girl. Sort of like
it's not for me.
All right. So like a
That's the only reason
wearing
I'm
like
I know that's the
tiger
only reason
fur
I'm asking
coat.
for it.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking for it is because it's not for me, it's for someone who actually needs this stuff.
Okay, cool.
Who like protects us.
Okay.
And I would like a paring dagger, some silver powder, and water pouches.
Okay. No problem. And do any of you guys need to go find out anything more about the items you have, or want to get back, or anything like that?
I want to go back to the room so I can meditate with the statue thingy that I have and see if I can find out anything else about it.
Okay.
And I'd want to read the book, the book that Nisa has.
I wouldn't mind going and finding that statue of Zeus with all the pretty diamonds and crystals all around it.
Okay. The book Nisa had, which book is that?
It's the one that was in Drow.
It's one of the like books I picked up from somewhere.
That you gave to Liam, I believe.
Did I?
You gave him all the books.
Oh, so it would still be with the guy? No.
I don't believe Liam
No.
gave anything to the guy.
I have kept all of them because I am a studious young man.
Yep. So, that means Liam's got all the books, which you can study, and I'll give you some more information in between sessions, and you can decide that later. Nissa,
Yes.
You focusing on the statue, little statuette you have, and while
The
you're
little
sitting
lion.
there, pardon?
The little lion.
Yeah. While you're sitting there, you get the mental image of a lion prowling and hunting down very large creatures. You need a bit more time, and you'll get there's like something you need to do or say to activate this thing. When you open your eyes, like the image that you were seeing in your mind is like superimposed in your vision. It's like there's this lion prowling around your room, despite the fact you're still holding onto the statue. And you know that you just need a little bit more time to be able to get this thing working. But yes,
That's
you
why
have
I'm meditating for as long as I can to get that specific command word.
Yep. When you have it, you'll have a gold lion statue, which for 1 hour becomes a lion under your control.
Yep. And then once I've used it, I have to wait 7 days before I can use it again.
Yep. Yes. So, Fanny, you are doing?
Yes, I wanted to read the book, get the stuff, and also maybe go shopping with Tig for candy, a hat, just outfits to make her look a little more presentable.
All right. Nothing else you needed to do?
Nothing that I don't believe so.
Okay. Sure. All right. So, Liam, you get back to the group.
Oh yeah, and I need to talk about to the headmaster about the armor.
Sure. So, you go. So, who are we gonna go find? How are you gonna go find him?
Wasn't he like in the like talking to like the council people, or wasn't he like somewhere in the boat?
You haven't seen him
the boat.
since you arrived.
We left
Yeah, I
him
could-
on the boat.
We left him on the boat. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
went
but-
to sleep in his chambers or something.
So, if you head back to the boat, it's not in the head anymore. It's been moved to the docks.
Oh, yeah. I can go to the docks then.
The boat's empty. It's been all
Where's-
cargo's been removed. There's nothing there. There's not a single thing on there that was there when you were there. It's been completely. It's
I'd
like it's,
probably go find a guard and talk to him and be like, hey, where'd the people go? The headmaster.
So they've taken a return ship to Corinth with a few of our adepts. We are going to attempt to get them back into their college. They've taken a phalanx of constructs so that if things go bad, we can pull them back here. And we'll set up a new wing for them to work in.
As long as he's okay, though. How many people left?
Did the headmaster go with them?
Yes, he his usual room is where he was staying when he was here, and he left. He was only here for a day and a half, I believe.
Oh, okay. Can you show me where his room is that he's staying? So if he comes back, I'm assuming go back there.
Yeah, my shift ends in about an hour. I can take you.
Thank you.
So when this man's shift ends, he shows you the room, and there's It's like quite a neat place. There's lots of books. There's a small desk with a couple clockwork like things on it, and there's a note on the desk that just briefly says, "Vanny, I have
Give it to
left.
Vanny.
I have left the armor in the care of the Armorers Guild. The armor has enchantments on it that are beneficial in certain circumstances, but all around it is a
There's a guy at my door. I'll just be right back.
cursed object. Off you go. It would be a shame if he left and didn't hear that last few words. So
Yeah, that would be really unfortunate. Where is Liam left and went off by himself, didn't he?
he's on his way back, but he will meet you when you probably go back.
Okay then. Damn it. Shit. How far away from the market stall? Is it just like sort of outside-ish, or is it on different?
I mean, you
levels
can
of the,
find a market that just has like foods and bits and bobs in it. What are you looking for?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to go to that clockwork table that I was looking at before, and I accidentally scared the person.
That's back up in the head, I believe.
Oh, that's way up.
Yeah,
Okay.
way up top. Back by your friends in the tavern.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately for this next bit, I kind of need Vanny. Oh, Vanny's back. Cool. Vanny,
Yes.
we'll remember where this room is. I can't read, but I want to leave something for the old man. But I need Liam to make it, because he does his creating thing.
Okay, then let's go find Liam.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head off back to your chambers, as like, you know, to put anything down you might have had, and then go out from there. And as you're doing that, Liam will arrive.
Liam, I'm gonna like hold out the snow globe.
Hi.
Can you make another one of these?
I can fix it if it breaks, but making another one's a bit of a stretch.
Do you know where I could get another one? Or something like it?
I'm sure one of the artisans somewhere in this Colossus can make something very similar. But
Okay.
also, I wanted to talk to the three of you about something in particular.
Yes.
We are listening.
I know the three of you have your own personal duty, and you've told me what it is. I don't want to say it out loud in case anyone's listening, but I understand it is of very great importance. However, I have a personal favor to ask. There's someone I know that's been gravely afflicted by the events of essentially us meddling with the goings on of this Colossus, and I feel I owe it to him to undo what I've done. There's a few people I want to ask questions of, a few things I want to research, and perhaps an extra destination I'd like to add to our trip, depending on what we find. Is that okay?
Adventures. I'm
Yeah, that should
fine
be-
with that.
That should be perfectly fine.
Can I bring my
Excellent.
bucket?
Of course you
Yes.
can bring your...
Okay, then let's go.
The first thing I need to do, though, is I need to find someone and ask them for information, and I may not do it very nicely depending on the answers they give. Do you want to be there for that, or...?
Yeah, I'll help if I can be of any assistance.
We'll be there to back you up.
If they're bad, I will help.
Oh, wow. Never had real friends before. This is great.
No, well, Liam is different. Like us.
Hey, Tig, fist bump?
Arm or take arm?
Use
Anything.
arm. Use arm.
I'm gonna sort of like hold it here and wait for him to fist bump me.
And Liam, like a goat would, instead of fist bumping in return, just sort of leans down and bumps her fist with his horn.
Okay.
She's like rubbing her face on the like. Sorry, she's like, ah!
So,
Okay.
Liam, you already know what you've got from the hall. Do you want to tell the people, or do you want to just leave it a mystery?
It's a mystery.
Okay.
We're having mysteries all around today.
Does this mean Tig is Scooby Doo?
No. Maybe.
Am I
Really?
Velma?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Velma.
for Velma. Does that mean that I'm Fred?
No, you don't build traps.
No.
I'll be Daphne. I'll be the one that gets flung around and used as bait.
You could be Shaggy. I don't know. Look, anyways, I think that's a good point to end the session, since you're all talking about like the next step, right? Which
Yeah.
means you can come back, start a next session, you can plan what you want to do, and go on from there. Like I said, I'm so sorry that it was just a short little bit afterwards, but I thought we'd wrap up to a good point. But yeah.
That's okay.
Thanks
I
for joining
enjoyed
us.
this wrap up.